G'day, this is Captain Noob, and this is a Peppermill crank gun. This is a highly customizable standalone weapon which makes use of a very forgotten or overlooked weapon system in Fallout 76, and that is of the automatic laser musket, which is a fairly unique mod. You can get it from random drops, but you have to kill legendary rad roaches, which aren't really too on the common side. You get it from low-level enemies regardless of that. And they've actually done a pretty good job with the meshes here. As you can tell, that's a minigun barrel there, and this midsection covering up all of the laser bits that would be on a sand laser musket is just sitting there. It's just a Merv barrel there. So that's actually covering up really nice, and obviously the housing all around it is still the laser musket, working very well. Except for the magazine, that's just kind of there. There's no obvious mag well for it to sit in, but yeah, it's just kind of sticking out the side, but we can overlook that. So a very laser muskety type weapon. Let's go ahead and get it some attachments. And the best receivers, funnily enough, actually require Idiot Savant, which is weird. And the most powerful version is a advanced calibrated receiver. The advanced rapid receiver only gives us extra 5 in the rate of fire, so I might actually go for the advanced calibrated receiver. Then we'll move on to the barrels. You can either have a short barrel for the highest fire rate, lowest range, a longer barrel for lower fire rate but much better range. Suppressor barrel is here if you want to make this thing stealthy, so we'll definitely try those out. And the tri barrel is for the most range and the most damage, so I feel like that'll be good in terms of our damage output, so we'll chuck that on. And you can chuck on gunner sights, glow sights, reflex sights. The reflex sight there is akin to a railway rifle, which I don't really like all that much, but if you feel like you want a little bit more range out of your things, you can always chuck on short scopes. Why not, eh? We'll chuck on a short scope. I don't mind the crosshairs too much. And you can have a recoil compensating stock, which comes from the radium rifle. The rest of this is still laser musket stuff, so yay, there's some more stuff right there. Probably means it requires Far Harbor to actually use this, but that fits in pretty damn well. Next up, you can change the bullets that it fires, and you can chuck on 50 cals in this, but if you want it to be a shotgun, you can do that as well. Yeah, I'm going to make it fire 50s, which will increase the fire rate and the range and the accuracy, but it's 20 shots only. Ah, I see. Well, there's actually a magazine upgrade, which I think I might have skipped over. No, that completely erases it from existence. So yeah, this will be our sniper one. We'll get to the drum mag a little bit later. That'll increase your ammo capacity by a bit. So yeah, I'll see you in Gunner's Plaza. I'll create a few more of these. Okay, here we are in Human NPC Shooting Gallery, and here is our laser musket or Peppermill crank gun in first person. I do like the look of this. I think it comes together really nicely, but more importantly, you'll notice how I'm wearing T45 armor, but not how Fallout 4 lets you have it. You see, this variant is one of a mod, and it's basically old style power armor like Fallout 3 and New Vegas, where you wear it basically as regular armor. You have all the standard animations as you do. No pain train, unfortunately. That sucks, but there. No hydraulic power armor suit. It's just like classic power armor, so that's pretty good. Also, you can see through the lens, which is not usually what happens, but I think that looks pretty cool. You see that's Allah under that. Okay, let's get started on these gunners, shall we? Let's see how we do. Okay. This thing's definitely got a bunch of punch about it. That's really, really powerful. Oh yeah, we won't be struggling with this. So this is one of those super receivers with the 50 cals, and there's that reload animation, by the way. You crank the thing back. Now there's a couple of things when it comes to using a laser musket like this that kind of can ruin your day if you're not prepared for it. If you decide to aim down sights whilst you start shooting, you have to wait for yourself to crank it open again. And on the other side of things, if you want to make this overpowered, simply crouch, go in third person, and you can fire that quickly. Now, this is not the fault of the modder. This is just what Bethesda made it like. They made no attempt to actually patch this. I imagine if they decided to, you know, revamp and do an automatic laser musket in Fallout 76, I'd actually fix it this time. So yeah, there's that. Let's move on to the suppressed one. This one's got a drum, as you saw earlier, and the reflex sight, which honestly not really a fan of. But with the sneak crits, I feel like we'll be very, very good hands with this weapon. So we'll just figure out where this particular gunner is. There you are. And we didn't really get a sense of how fast that fire rate is other than the sound there, but I went through 7 bullets just with that, so that's pretty crazy. And look at that. Now you notice how as soon as I stop getting the sneak attack criticals, I basically lose most of my damage, which means this thing, unless you're using it for major sneaking, well, it's not going to work. And that is because your range is just cut down so much. So as we can tell, when we're in close range, we can actually do pretty well, but you're going to be running through your bullets very, very quickly. And I do have 308s loaded in this, by the way. Nice touch, though, is that the, I think I just killed Captain Bridget, too. Yeah, the nice touch is this thing still, the barrel still glows up nice and hot when you do it. And this is the shotgun one. It's loaded with 12-gauge shotgun shells and also rapid armor-piercing receivers, because I know how this game works. And if you're hitting for very low amounts, well, your enemy's damage resistance is going to eat that up. So if we can punch a little bit of armor with this thing, it'll make the damage output go much better. So that's pretty good. You can also put a suppressed barrel for a shotgun if that takes your fancy, but again, you're going to be limiting your range very much so I wouldn't recommend it. Now, the sounds of this are quite interesting. There's a little bit of some of the sounds have just been replaced by me. I've just got a... Ooh, that's a staggering thing, isn't it? That might be a staggering... What's it called? I don't really know. But that's annoying. You'd have to stop that right now. So this is just a 50 cal with all of the rapid firing attachments onto it, and it's a lot quicker, as you can see with this. Also, it helps if I'm not aiming like a stormtrooper. Alright, third person with this. Absolutely annihilated him. Or her. Sorry for misgendering you. But I think you get the idea of this thing in here. It is pretty overpowered. And the fact that you do have Idiot Savant perks giving you the access to the perks which, you know, would give you the better damage things. Perhaps it's not entirely meant to be balanced, but who cares? I'm playing on big boy very hard difficulty, and a lot of the times it's a struggle with mod weapons, so I'll keep going. Alright, so Swan's got himself occupied with a few Rust Devils, and I'm just gonna see what happens. There's an infinite missile sound, which is a bug that has made its triumphant return in Fallout 76. That's pretty good. And for some reason, automatic laser muskets are a bit strange when it comes to sounds in VATS. But anyways, we've got the suppressed one. We're going to take out Swan the old-fashioned way, just by shredding at his health bar. And you'll notice there how I'm not getting the 4.4 times multiplier that most suppressed weapons give me. So perhaps it's not the stealth weapon that I would like it to be, but you know, maybe the suppressed keywords aren't actually on, so maybe the suppressor is just reducing my range for no particularly good reason at all. But as you can tell, the VATS is doing pretty good. I think it's a 10-round burst for VATS, and that makes criticals absolutely devastating. So if you've got a calibrated capacitor receiver with this, you can actually do pretty well. And luckily for me, my power armor is going to protect me pretty nice, because all of it, there's gloves, armor, and helmet. I'm not wearing the helmet now, but just to show you that the you can actually not wear the helmet, it still looks alright, unlike regular power armor in this game, where if you wear a helmet without it, well, it kind of looks tacky. But this looks like that. It's like a Sarah Lyons, but better. Alright, we'll switch over to my Rapid 50 now. And since we are sneaking like this and in third person, we're just going to cheese away at this. Now, I do have pneumatic armor bits. You're probably wondering about the customization. There isn't a lot. Nice shooting there. You want to try that? There we go. We'll activate criticals for even more damage. This will be huge. There's like... You can make it pneumatic. It's basically all of the secondary armor attachments, and there's no optics or anything for the helmet, which is a real shame. So it is early days for the mod though, so I'm guessing these customization options can be added. And OG Swan is dead as he glitchily goes into ragdoll mode, and my barrel is glowing hot. I like that effect, it's very, very nice. But yeah, there you have it. Against Swan, it does pretty well. I'll chuck my helmet back on, because that gives me a whole lot of damage resistance there. And we'll move on to some other monster. Alrighty, this time I'm going to be using the shotgun receiver on this, just to see how we do. So, I'm feeling ballsy today, with this new power armor with 3 times Mark V ballistic weave on the gloves, armor, and also helmet. I feel like we can tank a few more hits than normal, because challenge is a foreign concept to me. Let's go. And apparently that's going to kill you in one, but to make sure, I'm just going to crit you. Yeah, VATS, you'd be a big fat liar again, won't ya? Good thing I lit them up with multiple things, because we kind of need this. So now he's just kind of getting a big old back scratch. Oh, there might be a stagger chance. And if it's stagger chance per projectile, well, it's a perma-stunning weapon. And it certainly looks like this right now, actually. Well, there you go. There's the main draw of the shotgun. And I'm not sure why it does this. Perhaps it's under heavy gunner, which gives you stagger chance per shot. So, per projectile, instantly staggering weapon, which is going to be extremely powerful indeed as he keeps doing the same animations over and over again. Bless your little cotton socks. Yeah, okay. So we can speed this up a little bit if we go into third person. There it is. And before he gets his little hit on us, we can go right back and do this. Alright, let's switch over to something else. Yeah, this suppressed one, not really digging it at all. We'll keep on shooting him in the face though. I feel like this is the weakest of all of them. That second shot did alright. Alright, so we'll quickly go over here and catch another massive claw, but that's okay. We've got some classic power armor, so we'll just hit him for 1300 in the face over and over until he is dead. So this thing is it's very strong, possibly overpowered. So if you do want to have an easy time with this, you know what to do. You put on the best things, get idiot savant, blah blah blah. But you don't have to do that. You can easily just make it weaker if you feel like the game is too easy, which is nice. Me, I don't really mind it. Also, that's a Disciple's Blade. Okay, apparently Alla wasn't happy with that. And also, the subtitles didn't match what she said either. Nice one, Todd. Alright. One last test against a giant mutant hound who's sitting over there. Don't mind that I'm in caution. You see that I've got a medium scope with this, which means our sniping job should be easy, provided we don't get detected. Well, we got a third of his first health bar down with that, and he's running away now because he can't possibly path to us, so we kind of got to bait him in a little bit. We're only hitting him for 69 there. That's no good. We'll bait him by killing his fellow doggos. There we go, that one's dead, and now he's coming this way, I think. Now, if he gets too close, I might bring out the shotgun just to see if we can't make him perma-stagger like the Mylurk before, but I'm not really sure whether that's going to work. Apparently, VATS is saying you've got him here, so we'll keep on shooting him, and we get a mutation there. Alright, time to go over to the shotgun, I reckon. There we go, just start firing. Yep, but it looks like we've got an instant stagger on him when we do that. Only problem is we only got 20 bullets in this, so it's going to be short-lived, but if we go for a critical, it should increase our damage somewhat. Now, for some reason, it applies the damage every 2 bullets, which is really bizarre. I don't know why it does that. Maybe it's just the way the game calculates it. I also like how the barrel spins the other way if you decide to reload it too. If you next time it reloads, I'll point attention to it, but the barrel actually spins the opposite way. You can't see it there, but there you go. She's spinning the other way. How good's that? And we'll go for a critical here. Why not? You get a whole lot of good VATS shots if you decide to use this thing in VATS because they're long and they pick good angles. Sometimes it's wrong. It was a little bit too low there. If that had been just a little bit higher, then would have been golden. Okay, let's switch over to something else. This is just the 50 cal that's got the rapid receivers and everything on it, so we'll get a nice finish off with this, perhaps. Not if he just defies the laws of gravity, but luckily we can outpath him using sticks and stones, so that's pretty good. And the Eviscerator Hound Doggo thing is down for the count, and these super mutants are without a giant dog to feed, so I guess they're pretty happy. All of them get an extra serving of bug stew tonight. Anyway, so there you have it. That was a Peppermill crank gun. A very interesting weapon, and it made a very good extension of the weapon system that was already in the game and so totally overlooked. So I'm actually glad to be able to use this weapon system properly now with this particular weapon. If you'd like to see this particular weapon in your game, check out the mod description, or check out the link in the description. There shall be a link down there to the Nexus page. Also, if you like this armor too, I implore you to check it out. It's actually really, really good. And provided more updates and feedback come to this, I might even bring in some newer models or different models of power armor into this. There is a little bit of weirdness with the like it doesn't seem all metal or power armor like. It's a little bit more like foam, I guess. It's a lot more flexible than it should be in some areas. Like if I decide to jump, And just watch that little valve thing. It moves far more than it should, but I guess that's just the bones they need to figure out to make this thing better. Also, would probably look a lot better on male characters because it's got that definitely the wide shoulders, smaller hips build. So it kind of works for female characters, but for male characters would feel like it suits a whole lot more. Thank you very much for watching, guys.